believe we are live.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hello, everyone. I think we're live. We are live. All right, good. Okay. Happy Thursday night. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I designed this card on Saturday, and I don't know why in my head I thought it would work. Because, it was 2 days ago, I was like, that's not going to work the way I thought it was going to. It just, clicked in my head. What was I thinking? So I did have to go in and redo a lot of things, and I didn't necessarily test it, but I think this way will work. Hey, Dad. I'll show you guys what I did, but I want to first say hello to everybody. So, hey, Gloria, Sue, Jamie, Holly, Kimberly, Beth, Mindy, my dad, Beverly Wilson Ellison Sr. It's a long name. Hopefully everyone's doing good, having a good Thursday night. And I think I got this card finally where it needs to be. So let's go ahead and show you what I did differently. I should have kept what I originally had. These pieces are new here, because there's really no way of mounting this front piece. So I have kind of an idea of how to do that with those pieces here. Now I'm starting to wonder if I cut everything out. I think so. But because now there's a lot on here, and this was all one piece at the start, but that wasn't going to go through that one piece I had here and flip around and fold and come down. It would all have to come out. So now the garage doors will kind of lift and then connect on each other and come back down. Now that's okay. And so these pieces, so this one is the wide one, will go on the wide one on the end. These will go right above it on the second one. The second line's there. And then this will go on the third line. And then again, right on top. So you kind of want them kind of on top of each other. Or is it the other way? It might be the other way around. So the middle one on top of the smallest one, the largest one on top of that one. And then when you pull it up, it should all kind of fold into each other, holding up at the top. Hopefully. And then that all kind of hides behind there. And then that pull one will be connected, will be glued at the bottom of the bottom one behind it. So when you pull up, these will fall behind it. Yeah, so you put it on top and then on top. So then it folds behind it, but it doesn't go all the way down because there's little stoppers here and there. So it doesn't drop all the way down. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys now. My original thought, I don't know what I was thinking. But sometimes that happens. And then these pieces will fold. I put the score lines in them, and then that will connect the top piece to the back piece. And then the back piece, the back of this piece with the holes in it will be popped up to the very back piece. Oops, that's not what I want to do. To that piece. Hopefully, I know I'm saying that piece and this piece and that piece a lot, but hopefully when I'm putting it together, it all kind of makes sense. And then someone on Saturday had a really good idea of putting someone's birthday here. I literally just put the number of my house on the front of it, because it's a garage, but honestly. I don't even think the numbers of they're not on my garage. But you could do the birthday of somebody, their date of birth or whatever on the front. And then I just put some lights. That actually looks quite a bit like mine. Now, I think mine are probably too bright of orange. So I was thinking possibly of using some darker orange marker to kind of lighten those up. Just showing that if you don't have the right colors, you can use markers to kind of change the color of some paper if need be. And then these pieces are used to kind of hold everything into place, like with your normal spin and slide disc type things. But I don't have I have a few, but I didn't have 6. So that's where it's nice to have the laser engraver. So I went ahead and cut out some pieces. So I'm going to move the chat over, come over here, move this up. All right, let's go ahead and open the glue. That there. So I made a little baggie. These are they're 0.2 wide and 0.4 long. So if you do have a laser machine, that would be good. Or if you do, what? Words are hard. If you do have spin and slide discs, which I have enough for this, or you can use small buttons, like real small little buttons. There's different things that you can use for this part. So let's go ahead and open up the handy dandy box. All right. And then when I was cutting that stuff out, I was like, what is this piece? I'm like, I didn't design that. That's for the sign in the back of the garage. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. It took me a minute. So let's do the hardest part first, I think. So alright, so I know I need 6 of these. So I just made a bunch of these because I tend to make a lot of things where you need spin and slide discs. So 1, 2, 3. Wow, somehow it got exactly 6 out. I should put those in a better place. They're fine there for now. Alright, so I'm making sure you guys can see me. Oh, that's a piece that we'll need for the car later. So then this will go here, and then there. So first off, I don't know, that's probably exactly the same both ways. But that's the way I'm going to use this way as the front, and I want that to be as close. Ooh, hold on. Before I do that, I want to center this. I'm going to glue this piece down here, and just the bottom piece of it. So I might do a little fold there. It definitely happens so many times when I cut. Wait a minute, that's not going to work. Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. So, all right, I want this kind of be centered on here. Push it to the bottom. It's like center the garage door. And then make sure that's at the bottom. I almost feel like I should tape that piece down. You know what? I'm going to do that just so it doesn't move so much. So I don't want it to move all over the place. Okay, so I'm just going to tape that piece down for the time being. This over top of it. So these pieces fit right in there. Because usually when I make these lines, these cutouts, rectangles, I make them 0.25, so they fit in there and they have some room to slide around. So I'll put a little bit of glue on there. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know in chat. I don't know if my chat's working. Glue on that. That brings it to the bottom. Uh-oh. That's going to be slightly too far. We need to come over to the edge more. There we go. There we go. That's to the bottom. Put some glue on here. Hey, Ayana. And then when I put these, I'm going to start over here. When I put these on here, I'll put the glue on here. I want to make sure that I'm not pushing it where you're going to see it on the outside of the card. So I want to kind of make sure that it's on the side there. Go. And we will take that glue off, or not glue, tape off of there. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I did not wait long enough on that one. Whoa. Okay, push that back down. Make sure this is centered on the bottom. Okay, it stayed on there, it just didn't. There we go. Need to wait until that dries a little bit. Okay, so that's the bottom piece. Let's do the next piece. We're just gonna move everything up so then it, oh wait, we want to make sure that it's slightly on top of that one, right? Or was it underneath it? go underneath or slightly on top. I think slightly on top. It might fall differently anyways. I think it'd be easier to pull up. Hold on, let me think about this. I think if I pull on it, yeah, we want it underneath it. Slightly underneath, but above that piece. So then they fall into that slot there. Which I might be able to just, once it's on there, move it around. Okay, well, it's not above that. Just checking the marker on there. I want it to be as centered as possible with the coloring. Hey, Nightbot. That's funny, Holly. I was thinking that right before the video. I was like, oh, did we do that? I don't remember if we did that or not. Talking about our Savannah trip. Okay, now I need 2 more dots. Hopefully this is even on the front when I flip this over. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. I was a little nervous. I was like, I'm not sure how that's gonna look. Okay, and then I think that part at the bottom, so it has a little bit of room. Go on top of that one. Oh, make sure it's in front of what it needs to be. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Just putting it there, making sure it's even. Now it's too far down. Let's flip this one around. Or does it need to be? I think it does need to be this way, because there's a little bit more of a space there. Like that. Slightly off on that one. It's not, it's going to be really hard to make it perfect, so. Okay, and then I just want to make sure that when I put this on there, yeah, it's covered. Making sure I didn't push everything down too far. Yeah, theme night. What are we gonna do? I mean, in Savannah, we could do like 1920s, like jazz style, 1930s. I just hope that these don't get caught on each other. I didn't think about that. They are kind of close. That could happen. Luau, not lone. Okay, so this one is slightly farther down. Okay, so I need to put this one. That one. Maybe put that one down farther. Oh, oh. Make sure it's even. Put this one back down to the bottom. That's the bottom. Make sure that piece slides. Okay. Let that dry. Make sure all the pieces are loose there. There it goes. There. I didn't let it dry, but it is working. I just said let it dry, but I was so worried. I was like, okay, I just gotta make sure it's gonna work. Okay, make sure it's even again. Brings everything down, brings it out there. Put this down. I will not be wearing a coconut bra. That's all on Matt. Sorry, Matt. Now, instead of pulling that up again, I'm going to let that dry. So let's do another part of this where we put the car together. I think it goes either way. So yeah, so just an outline. What's everybody else working on? There we go. Then it's basically just a puzzle. Because I have the other pieces that I made into white. Although the black and red looks cool, I added white pieces as well. And they should fit right into place. Putting glue down on the inside. These will fall right into place. And the headlights. There we go. So then that will go in the garage once we get to that point. And I believe this part, I just have to figure out how this goes together. I see I didn't take one of the circles out. There we go. Goes on like that. Will this be easier to put underneath it? Will it fit right on top? It fits right in there. So I'll put this on first. The sign that goes on the back of the garage wall says happy birthday. And I did use extra fine tip on that. That will cover up the rest of the white. Oh, I see. That's probably where I'm gonna mess it up. Didn't put enough pressure right there. Close enough. Hopefully that will dry. And then we'll put the little lamps together. dry. Back part of this will be hopped up onto this piece. Okay, 4, let's do 5. Might end up doing 6. Do one here. Down here. Another one up there. There, but I'm thinking maybe another line of them down the center here. Maybe 2. One there. There. Now it's probably gonna be easier if I, for the other pieces I have, to do that before I put this on there, but I don't think it's gonna be too bad. We'll find out together. Okay, they're all sticky. Sorry if my hair gets in the way. Just trying to line that up. Looking in the camera now. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, I should have made sure that was good. So hold on. Let me pull that down. That's good. There it goes. It's coming up to the top. They're all on there. They come together. All in there. Okay, so now I just need to know. Okay, so it does come up to the top. That's no issue. Now when I have that down, okay, now let me see something else. So let me bring this one down. These fall into place right on top of each other. But since I have that pole piece there, now what if I did it where these actually go on top of this one? Oh, they're not gonna fall underneath because they would just get caught. So, okay, so you do have to just deal with that. So the garage door won't go all the way up, and then this one will go on top of that one. And that's because of that glued piece there, but they'll come up to there once we have those other pieces on there. Otherwise it would go off the card, but they'll go there. So then that's what it's gonna look like once it's all open. So now we can put the car on the inside. And I'm realizing what I could have done differently is instead of that middle piece, since this bottom one is longer, I could have put the pull things off to the side and then pull it up, but then like one piece up at the top and then come up together, so then everything would fall into place together behind the 7759. But you know, you don't know those things until you put the card together. And then this is, since this doesn't go all the way up, we're gonna have to just kind of sneak under there a little bit. Just put it right there, which is no problem. And I know you're like, how are you going to put the front on? Because there's really no place to put that. This comes down. This comes down. And that one comes down. Underneath that one. So that's where these little pieces come in handy. So I'm going to glue there. I think that these should be a little bit more. I should have done 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. I did 1 inch long. There, I think that's gonna be better. Okay. Alright. So these little pieces, I'm gonna end up doing to fold them like this instead of like that, because that's too thick. So I'm gonna do like this. Fresh glue. Make sure that doesn't get, there we go. Glue it down there. This probably would have been easier, definitely would have been easier to do. So now I have to figure out how to push that down. The bottom. Okay. Pull that up maybe. Maybe easier. Now, I've never done this before. I've never done this type of attaching a front to a card like this. I just get different ideas of how to do things, and I just want to make sure that is over top of that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Make sure that that's over top of that. Nope, that needs to come over. Pushing it all down, and that piece will come up. I'll fold that there. Maybe I can do the bottom part now, and then do the top part together. I think so. one of these is interfering. It's okay. All right. These little tabs. I'm realizing I could have probably done like some from the side as well, to give it a little bit more strength. So hey, Linda. Because one side is not even anymore. It still looks pretty decent, but you can see the little tires at the bottom. But that's because of where I decided to put these. But maybe if I would have just went from the sides instead of trying to do it from the bottom. Oh no, I couldn't do the sides because of the long pieces. That's right. So just my placement was just a little off. That's okay. And then I can pull this forward and hold that down. Hold those tabs on there. Okay. Now the fun part is just doing the back side again, doing the small side. Fold this. So since I did a 1/4 inch on each side and there's a 1/2 inch in the center, what I'm doing is I'm just folding the one side all the way in, and then I'm adding another score line by folding that over that 1/4 inch. And then that's making a bigger tab. So this small tab will glue to the back, and then this big tab will fold or glue to the white piece, and then that's the inside of the card itself. So I just want to just the craft board is actually just this white piece. It was a scrap piece that I was using. Most of everything that I was using except for the gray is scrap. So only but realistically, if you have like a thicker piece for the part with the holes, that would be really good for that. My brain works very strangely sometimes. Excuse me. And then this one, I guess it doesn't really matter. You know what? Let's try. Should I do it over here? Because then that will get out of the way of the garage. No, because we don't want the garage door going above. So let's go ahead and put it over here. That way it holds the garage door pieces from falling out. I know I'm at the bottom of the screen right now. I'm just thinking. Because that way it just looks better aesthetically when you go to pull up on it. Okay. I'm okay with that falling. That will be glued momentarily. I just get these ideas for cards, and they don't always work out the way that I want them to, but for the most part, it has been. Now when I'm designing it, sometimes I have to go back and redesign some things, but it's coming together. And then these top pieces here, we're just gonna add some amount of glue. And I've never actually done that to a card front. That's never how I've ever attached a card front before. Just gonna make sure those are tight before I lift that up. So that holds that on there. And then you could pop these up, but realistically it's already kind of a thick card. So I'm just gonna glue these down. Unless you have very thin pop-up dots. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I know I'm still in view. I'm just in a weird spot. It's just like I have to see what I'm doing as well. I know I'm like in camera and stuff, but I also have to see like what I'm doing and where I'm holding it. But for the most part, I have been in camera. So there it is. That's a garage. That hopefully now did not glue to that. I did a little bit. The garage door opens. There it goes. It does go up. But you can see a little bit of the happy birthday. I didn't put the glue this down far enough. I should have maybe moved that down a little bit, and that's because I put these stoppers on here so it didn't pull everything out the top. But you can see it says happy birthday. What I'll do is I'll make that slightly smaller, but then everything goes back down. Not necessarily easy, so that's not, there we go. You just have to shake it down and it goes into place. But it does, depending on where you hold the card, it does open. And then to close it, you just shake it down. And then, yeah. You got a little pull thing. And the more that you use it, you might have to lift up on that piece there just to get it up there. But yeah, this would be a great way to surprise somebody for giving them a car for their birthday. There we go. All right. So, thank you guys for joining. I'm going to go in here real fast and make that slightly smaller. Happy birthday sign is just a little bit smaller now. That will fit better in there. Would love to see what you guys do if you guys end up designing this. I mean, you can write on the back, or if you wanted to put a white piece on there. This is 5x7, but with this piece, you just would have to fold this down to make it be a 5x7, and then you'll see that little tab, and then you just pull the tab up. So. There. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this card. To take a little bit of time to put together, but that's all right. It worked out. So, oh, before I forget, I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but let's talk about Savannah. We are going to Savannah October 2nd through the 7th. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to go. You have to be a Patreon supporter to look into everything that we're doing. But there's so much to do in Savannah. Day trips. There's so many. We got a little video that should be coming out soon of different recommendations that I have of all kinds of different things to do in Savannah, restaurants and rooftops, bars, and the tours, and all kinds of different things. So definitely check that out. And if you are interested in getting this file, go to melodylaneinspired.com. Go to start here if you're not a supporter, and that will lead you in the direction of a way to support. We have over 1,400 files that we have designed. So if it's not this one, it might be another one that you're interested in making. So, all right, guys. Reading chat. So you can do it. I believe in you, Mindy. If you just watched the video from the start, I did it. I flipped it over. I did it slowly. I believe in you guys. So if you guys do it, I love watching, or I love seeing the stuff that you guys post of things that we created on Design Space in our Design Space Facebook group. So yes, Holly will be live Saturday at noon Eastern time. So 6 times. Good night, guys.